Public Service Commission of South Carolina. We are here today, Friday, September 13th, 2024. It is just after 2 p.m., 2:08 p.m. to be exact, and we are here in docket 1997-431-T concerning the Class C taxi certificate number 6551 of Miss Betty Ann McCrae. Again, I'm Nicole Given. If I could get the parties to introduce themselves. Ms. McCrae, we'll start with you.
Okay, Ms. McCrae, Ms. Given was just giving the docket number and the fact, and it's the docket related to your Class C taxi certificate. That's what she was saying. So let me see if we can find another place in the hearing room for you to hear a little bit more. Hold on a second. Okay, Miss McCrae. Miss McCrae.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Miss Given was just asking if you would state your name for that this conference is being recorded. Would you please state your name?
Bettie Ann McCrae.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. McCrae. Have this afternoon representing the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Thank you. This has been Mustian on behalf of ORS.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mustian. It's nice to see you. Parties, I wanted to just sort of give a brief synopsis of how we got to the status conference today. I find that could be helpful to the parties just as we try to orient ourselves going forward. Ms. McCrae, if you recall, a request for an extension of commission rules and regulations was filed on May 13th, and that document was signed by Mr. Travis McCrae as grantor. And the commission shortly thereafter at a regularly scheduled business meeting issued a directive which requested some additional information regarding Mr. Travis McCrae's authorization to make decisions and determinations regarding Class C taxi certificate number 6551, which Ms. McCrae, I believe, belongs to you. We did receive a letter on June 13th stating that Mr. McCrae had the ability to make decisions on behalf of the motor carrier. However, we have not received a certified copy of a properly executed and filed power of attorney, nor have we received a form that has been resubmitted for that extension request with Ms. McCrae's signature. And so the commission on August 1st issued a directive order, and that's order number 2024-532, which instructed staff to set up a status conference so that we could discuss this issue in the context of having all the parties together. So Ms. McCrae, I wanted to just touch base with you. When you read the commission's order, I don't want you to misunderstand my question, but do you understand what we're requesting?
No, she really don't understand because she's hard of hearing. So, Travis don't have no power of turn over her, so I don't know. Okay, come on. Travis filed a paper about saying he's going to take over the motor carrier for the cab. So what y'all plan on doing with the cab? That's what they want to know. Oh, but they told I can keep the number. See, I heard that they took the number. Did y'all took the number?
Okay, hold on one second. Ms. Given, can you hear the question? Ms. McCrae asked whether or not I think the taxi cab number was retrieved where it's no longer available. Was that taken? I think I'm asking her question correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
Is not, because the commission has been unable to rule on the request for extension given the confusion about Mr. McCrae's involvement or lack of authorization to make decisions on behalf of the motor carrier. We have held that request in abeyance. And so in the interim, and Mr. Mustern, you can correct me if this is not stated correctly, but ORS had filed a rescission report which had included the Class C taxi certificate of Miss McCrae, but in that directive order, that 2024-532, we requested that or ordered that the Class C taxi certificate number 6551 be reinstated pending the outcome of the status conference.
And hey, this is Bid Muschin. So, it's kind of an interesting procedural posture because, there was a non-compliance and then there was a request for an extension. And then that extension essentially lapsed because of the power of attorney issue. And so it is essentially in a limbo state at this point. I believe our position was that it would have been rescinded, but for the actions that have gone on in trying to get this clarified. So, it's just kind of in an odd posture at this point as far as it I think technically should be rescinded, but we understand the issues with respect to getting the appropriate authority.
McCrae, would it be possible for you to given that there is no power of attorney that Mr. Travis McCrae has, would it be possible for you to resubmit the request for an extension form with your signature and not Travis McCrae's signature?
So you gonna want to do an extension on it again with your signature, not Travis? I don't know what Travis is doing. I want to know is I got the number in a car. I don't what they do.
Okay.
You gonna get a car? That's the way you can drive it. See, that research tell me we ain't got no number. They say we got a number. So make up your mind first we got a number or not. At all. She still got her cab number, don't she?
Yes, ma'am. The order granting Ms. McCrae the authority to operate still exists. I think what Ms. Given was asking you is whether or not you can resubmit your letter asking for an extension of time to comply.
Give us another letter. How we go by doing it?
Okay, so you can let me just mention one more thing, please. The letter would Ms. Given asked that it have Ms. McCrae's signature on it. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So if you have email, you can email us. Ms. Smeeting, can you give us the fax number? Oh, where's Ms. Smeeting? Okay, can you come up here and give her the fax number? Which way would you rather email it or use a fax machine? Or you can put it in the mail.
Send it in the mail because she don't have an email address or fax machine.
All right. Are you ready for our address, or would you like for do you have a pen or pencil and you can write it down? Oh, okay. Listen, Ms. Smeeting said, and you may have spoken to her before, she said that she will send you our address via U.S. mail, and that way you'll have it in writing. Is that okay?
Okay, and then all she got to do is sign that paper. What y'all gonna send?
Would you send her a copy of the form, Janice? Okay, Ms. Smeeting will also send you a copy of the form and also the commission's mailing address. Okay?
Okay. And that come back to be inspected too.
Okay, Ms. Smeeting also told me that she has 2 addresses on file for you. You might want to come up here so you can hear. She'd like to know which address you want her to use to mail this information to you.
It's 1009 West Dalton Street.
1009 West Dalton Street. Darlington
Street, Florence, South Carolina, 29501.
Okay.
When y'all go.
All right. Ms. Given?
Yes.
Did you want to say anything else?
So Ms. McCrae, once we receive that signed copy of a request for an extension, The commission will review it, and then the matter will be decided upon at a regularly scheduled commission business meeting after we receive that request for an extension. I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Ms. McRae, did you understand what Ms. Given just said?
What she said?
Okay, she said once the commission receives the completed form, we will place it on the commission's agenda for the commissioners to make a decision.
Make the decision
on the request for extension of time, I think, to comply with the commission's order. I think that was the original request.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So, and Ms. Given, did you want to at all provide Ms. McRae with a time period, or you want to leave this issue as is?
I'm sorry, Executive Director Boyd, with a time period
A time period for returning her completed form?
As soon as possible, just so that the issue doesn't continue to linger. But I do realize that with the mail, we're somewhat at the mercy of the U.S. Post Office.
Okay.
But as soon as practicable for Ms. McCrae, that way we're not, this issue doesn't continue to linger, and she can have the authority to operate, and the commission can rule on her request for an extension.
Okay. So Ms. McRae, would Ms. Given just asked at your earliest convenience, once you receive the form, if you would complete it and return it, that would be appreciated. Okay.
As soon as we receive it, she'll fill it out and return it back to y'all.
Okay. Thank you so much. Ms. Given, do you mind if I ask Mr. Mushin if he has anything to add? Okay.
I have nothing further, Ms. Boyd. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Given, if you want to tell us what you'd like for us to do next, are you satisfied with the conference and close it? Or?
I think that we have a viable path forward, and if there is no further business for the status conference, we can adjourn, and I hope that everyone else has a great weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Given. Thank you, Ms. McCrae. Thank you, Mr. Mushin.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.